welcome George Stranahan, mentor, father figure, founder of life.
Flying Dog stands for, doing what you should have known better, taking a risk that was maybe further out there than you expected, but pulling it off. It is a lifestyle and an attitude.
He wanted nothing for his funeral. His comment to us was, do something for yourself. The Osopher project is to honor George and his lifetime achievements. It's based on a word that George Stranahan used to describe himself, Pilgrim Osopher.
Which in his mind meant that he was a student of many vocations.
From writer to professional photographer, founded the Aspen Center for Physics, teacher, he founded the Woody Creek Tavern, an adventurer who climbed K2 with 15 innocent people. It was inspirational to us to do a beer to honor that. It was for us as much as George.
George was very intellectually curious. I got to get water after trying to spit out intellectually curious. April 2nd, 1998, George Stranahan's barn caught on fire, and I responded as a volunteer firefighter up there to put the fire out. And after we put the fire out, we saved the foundation. George and I and his ranch hand were talking booze, and he had started Flying Dog Brewery, and I said, George, I make a little moonshine in my horse shed. You got this other barn. George and I started talking about using a craft brewery to create a whiskey mash, and he goes, that sounds like a great idea.
The distillery, Stranahan's, originally started right next door to Flying Dog. They were pumping beer through a hole in the wall and distilling it into whiskey. So when we were looking at this, we knew we wanted it to be probably the most special release we've ever done.
Road Dog Porter was the original wash that we brew to create Stranahan's whiskey. We decided that we wanted to go back to that type of style.
At Stranahan's, they emptied the 2 barrels that had the original distillate in them. They sent us those freshly emptied barrels, and then we racked our Imperial Road Dog into those barrels, let it age, then took the Imperial Road Dog out, packaged that in 750 milliliter bottles, and have returned those barrels to them so they can now age distillate in the barrels.
It's super cool to be able to age our whiskey in a beer barrel that is based on the original recipe.
We're going to release both products, both the beer that was barrel aged and the whiskey that was barrel aged.
I look at it as becoming a full circle of Stranahan's. It started with Flying Dog, and now it's coming back to Flying Dog. It's like a reunion of the two together.
The double release of Osopher honors George in 2 different ways because he started both Flying Dog and Stranahan's, and now we're able to collaborate and share kind of influences between our 2 companies.
The meaning of life is living life, and George lived it to the fullest, whether it's on motorcycles or being in physics or climbing K2. So the Osopher project is a way for us to honor George, but also for us to say, what do we stand for? Take a look at George's life. That is what we stand for.